So good afternoon, ma'am. This is Deepthi from Curious Times, and we welcome you on this edition of special edition of Teachers Day. We This edition is really to honor the teachers for all the hard work that they put in regularly. However, this year has been really different in so many ways, and there has been a very dedicated and 300 500% of effort that has gone in last 6 months to make things happen for the students and to let the process of education be on for children and they don't miss out. So welcome.
Thank you very much, Ms. Deepthi. It's nice, finally to meet you. And it's my pleasure to join you and to share whatever little I have with you on this,
Yes, ma'am.
for the Teachers' Day edition that's coming out of Curious
Yes, ma'am.
Times.
And so, in the interest of time, I'll just take you through a few questions, and if you can answer that for the audience. And since this will be also shared with the school, the Choice School, and your parents and students group, ma'am, help us understand, like this whole thing around COVID-19 became, uh, you know, we as a nation we got aware in March and the awareness spread at that time. What How did you and when did you take that decision of what is happening external in the external environment and what we need to do as a school? You know, when was that transition happening and what was the school going through in the month of March?
Okay, actually, in the month of March, we had to close school on March 16th, which was, I think, we were one of the first districts to close because Pathanamthitta district in Kerala was the first to lock down, to go, under lockdown, because it was here that the first one was in Thrissur, of course, but that was under control. The first family from Italy had come into Pathanamthitta district, and that's how, the panic started here in Kerala.
Very.
So it was just before the students had, they had their exams happening, starting in the third week of March, and that's when we had to shut down. So from then, it was been it's you know, a different kind of a ride altogether from then. So we had to cancel our exams. Only for grade 8, we had an exam, even then online. We conducted it because they were the senior most class, but for everybody else, we canceled the exams. And in the month of April, we came to know that, okay, this is, spreading everywhere, it's catching up. So, and we shut the school 2 weeks ahead of schedule. So we had to keep the kids happy in some way or the other. Because and it was at that point of time that we thought, why not have a summer camp online to keep
Right.
the kids busy, to
Right.
keep everybody was stuck at home, lockdown, children couldn't step out of their houses, they couldn't be themselves, the parents were also at home trying to work and manage the homes. So it was a tough time for everybody. So we thought, why not offer them an online camp?
Right.
So, which was quite a strong decision at that point of time because, none of us are that technologically adept, at using any kind of platform. So we were aware about the Zoom. So we thought, okay, let's start off on the Zoom platform.
Right.
So the teachers were very hesitant, they were up in arms. What are we going to do? But they said,
Right.
never mind, let's just try it, and then that's how we started. But that was a big time hit. And that is something that gave us a lot of confidence.
Right.
It was spread over 15 days, but the students loved it. And the teachers also came out successful there because they said, okay, we can do it online too. That was a moment of realization for them.
Right.
So that is how we started.
Right. 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 So, ma'am, when that you just took a decision to go on Zoom, and then, in terms of when the session was to commence, right? The so there was a decision which is for the summer camp, but when the session had to commence, like what decisions came your way as a principal or a leader of the choice school, that what all you need to do, and from your district perspective, from the students perspective, connectivity, devices, like there are a whole lot of data elements that are available to you, and you have to take a decision. So what was happening on that at that time?
You're talking about when the school commenced or when the online, I mean, the summer camp commenced?
Not the summer camp, but this is the school and the curriculum and everything had to take off, right? So doing a summer camp is a little different, but doing a curriculum and getting parents and teachers on board and all that is available, like devices, yeah, in a camp you can still compromise, but when an education is
Absolutely.
getting conducted, so what were those decision points that you had? There were elements around you in terms of connectivity, devices, parents, siblings, teachers infrastructure. What was happening in the month of April when you had to take the real leap?
Actually, I think I need to thank our management for it, because the management was very, very supportive, and our president, who was quite a visionary, he was, he kept pushing us even before it struck the world in full magnitude. He said, "What if? What if we have to go through this? Then what are you going to do?" So, to be very honest, from the second week of April itself, we had started our discussions on what to do, how are the curriculum, I mean, how is the curriculum going to be planned, what is a platform we're going to choose. So we had almost on a daily basis, we had meetings with I mean, we have three schools. The
Right,
Choice School has the main mother school in Cochin, and
right,
there's one in Tiruvalla, which is the one I'm heading, and there's also one more in Calicut.
right.
So all of us educational, uh, heads and the administrators, all of us had to sit together, have debates, have discussions as to what we are going to do. So we started our plans way ahead, thanks to Mr. Jose Thomas, our president, and the management. And, they were very, very supportive. So we were asked to explore the various platforms. The
Right,
Zoom was the easiest at that point of time.
right,
So we went in for licensed Zoom lines. That
right.
was the first step. So, and then, we were introduced to the Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, and, everything. We were introduced to the various platforms available, and we finally chose Google Classroom.
Google.
And we, of course, we are actually blending everything into it. The kids are very good right now in using Kahoot,
Okay.
Socrative.
Yeah,
So we've reached there. So
right.
the thing is, I fully give 100% credit to the management for pushing us to start discussions and debates way ahead so that we are prepared. And I think that is what did the magic.
Hmm.
We were prepared by the time we reopened. Number
Yeah.
two is, how to address the parents.
Hmm.
Actually, that was also not as difficult as expected, but yes, there were a lot of hesitations, a lot of concerns, and we had to face all that. But I think we finally managed to convince our parent community, and
Right,
they are with us. And that is why we're able to go ahead so smoothly.
right. And ma'am, any form of resistance you found, from teachers or from the parent community? Like, what were the apprehensions? I wouldn't say resistance because everybody had no choice, right? But what were the apprehensions that came along the way from parent community and the teachers, or students? Some of the students are now in 7th or 8th grade, right? So even they have a voice in all this.
Yeah. Actually, the resistance came from all quarters. The easiest to convince was the student community. They were game for anything.
Okay.
Uh, then, of course, it was the teachers. Teachers were up in arms, and how we as teachers, even if it's for a peer observation or an observation from a supervisor or a head, what the teacher goes through, multiple or observations, a term itself is a turmoil for them. So this is like having a class observation every day by the, even by the side of every child, there is a parent. So the teachers know that. And it's not easy to go in front of the parent community and take their classes every day. So it was a mammoth task, and I have to applaud the teaching community, because they have been working day in, day out, and they're doing a great job. There are, teachers who have never felt using a computer even to type in question papers, but now if you actually see them using the internet and the different platforms, I'm amazed.
Hmm.
It's the teacher community that actually surprised me the most.
Hmm. Yeah.
Parents are very, very supportive, no doubt, because I mean, and see, in our community where my school is, a lot of parents are abroad. The kids are with their grandparents. So
Right.
some of them, it's the grandparents by their side, and it's not an easy task for them
Right.
to learn the gadgets and how to handle it and, get into the class on time and all that. But everybody did it. That's the best part of it. The student community was the most receptive. We counsel them in such a way, but they are the ones who learnt it, and they're making use of everything that has come their way.
Right.
The
Right.
most difficult was, like I said earlier, the teachers, but no words of appreciation will suffice
Hmm.
our gratitude, because they have done an amazing job.
Right, right, right. Ma'am, yes, from our perspective, the whole objective of bringing this magazine out is like one knows that, when we transition in corporates, when we transition, we bring a new software or a tool, we, take like multiple months of decision to bring it, right? Saying like lot of stakeholders are called and there'll be multiple high profile meetings with the costs involved, and also the ease of implementation, all that is discussed. I think for what happened in this kind of scenario was that everybody was, had to take a decision in not 3 4 months but in 3 weeks, right? And at the same time the training has to happen in that period. At the same time the buy-in of all the stakeholders has to have to all these things had to happen in like a very short duration. And whether you have reservations or you have apprehensions, that had to be conquered pretty fast. And it takes like a lot of time for people to get adjusted who are tech savvy to get adjusted to something like this. But out here, like, you have people who are used to certain processes for many years, and they had to immediately kind of take a turn and start doing it in a very different way. So the effort that goes in from their perspective would have been like, 200 times, 500 times, as I say. It will be the content.
Absolutely, I agree.
Right. And I think that to your point, that is really your teachers hard work has come to your surprise at the kind of content that has got built in this thing. Yeah, that's true. And ma'am, just like, you're yourself saying that to teach the students were the easiest to sort of, walk that path. uh, there are now, 6 months, may there are like so many processes that have got built, right? On the technology side, on the content side, on the management of teachers and the school and the students, on their assessments. What are these processes that you think once the schools open up and everything, are there some of these processes which you would still continue to use at your school level or at the management level? Are there some processes and insights that you think like these have got force, but these are wonderful and I want to use them even once the schools open?
I think everything that we are using now will continue. In not so much of use, definitely restricted, but they're also good. I don't think we're ever going to throw away these systems that we have learned and we've taken. There are so many things. For example, now we are online, we have online classes happening now. So we as a school have made things very interesting for our children. And one of the things that we did, was a web conclave. So every week we have a speaker from outside addressing our students. It can be from various walks of lives. It can be an actor one day, it can be a doctor. We had a scientist, the chief controller of ISRO, the VSSC, in Trivandrum. We had an artificial intelligence person, a cyber security person, a pilot. So I think within the given limitations and opportunities, we've opened the doors wide to our children in a different way. And that has become such a good opportunity for them. I don't think we're going to take it away. And we wouldn't have had the honor of having such wonderful people on board if we were to call them for a live session, one-to-one in school. It may not even, it was, I don't think it can even be thinkable at the moment, because they're such people of such high profile, such busy people. But here, even students as small as grade 5, they're interacting with people.
Yes.
They're interacting with IAS people, IFS people. So there's so much of learning that's happening. The inside out of every profession is being spoken to them. They're getting to find out or clarify their doubts. So this has opened up quite a um, wide area of learning. I don't think we're going to do away with it, but how much of it we're going to use is something, again, we need to discuss once the school reopen. But I don't think anything of what we've been using the past few months is going to go away at all. Now, the Google Forms. Can we think of a better way to know whether what we've reached, taught our children has reached them or not? In a matter of 2 minutes, you get a feedback.
True.
Similarly, a lot of exciting things for them. And, we also have another thing called the flipped class, where once a week the students take the class. And they are using all these technological aids to do their classrooms. So I don't think we're going to say no to them even after we reopen fully.
Right.
But yes, they are losing out on quite a bit.
Right.
Which is what we will have to, engage them more once the school reopens. But nothing of what we've learned will go back, or we're not going to do away with anything. But yes, very limited time will be given for that.
Right. All the specialists you could bring, like it will become a norm to bring more specialists and more people, because it's going to be online, right?
Absolutely.
That's I think a wonderful, and you'll continue to use Google Classroom for a lot of things that you do.
Certainly. Now, see, we've always had these remedial sessions for students who haven't understood a particular concept, or who are a little weak in their mathematical concepts or languages. So we used to have these after-school sessions for them. Now we've realized we don't need to keep them back in school. They can be comfortably back. They can be in their homes, and we can still teach them.
Yeah.
So we could use this. Staff meetings can easily be held on Zoom. Why would we have to keep the teachers physically here? So a lot of learning in, a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Big time. A lot of meetings, we don't really need to have them physically present with us. Now, how am I talking to you now?
Yes.
Which I don't think would have been even thought about, say, 2 years back.
Yes.
And I don't think this is the best way.
I was planning a trip to Kerala in the month of February, and to meet many of the educators we are now interacting with. And we are so blessed that, we are able to talk in this manner. So
I know, but you should still visit Kerala. Okay, it's a beautiful place.
Yes.
You should come.
Yes.
You should come and see our place. You should stay with us and interact with my team of teachers and my students. So that's a different thing. But still, rather than waiting for that time, it's always easier for us to, communicate.
Yes.
That's a big advantage, I think, that has come about.
And ma'am, so just, from your perspective, what are your thoughts for the parents and for the students? what are the kind of, there are there are uncertainties in the minds of students prevailing, like I think mostly for 12th graders and 11th graders, more for them. But I think as they reach the middle school, there is like, there's a lot more pressure in terms of curriculum also. So with their fears and uncertainties, what are your thoughts for them? What are things that you would like to say for them?
See, the fear of uncertainty actually looms large in front of all of us. We really don't know when this is all going to end, what is at stake, what are we going to do. We don't have answers to many questions that we have. Now, what can we do with our students? The least we can do is continue, the learning process in the best possible way, and keep engaging them in activities and activities and more, and learning, which actually helps them forget the fact that they're alone in the at their homes, and also open platforms where the students can interact with each other. That's a big miss that they're all getting. There is no way to interact with their friends.
Right.
So as a school, what we are doing is we give them opportunity. For example, after every 40-minute session of us, we have a 15-minute break.
Right.
So the children can use it as a free time, like how they would have their break. Here, they can get up, roam around. Some of them have jamming sessions. Some of them sing, some of them dance, some of them argue. So it's that 15 minutes is for them after every period, that is okay. So, and then if there is a particular class who wants to meet, we open out the Zoom line officially for them to meet. We have started the house activities and competitions, everything. So they get to meet their friends when they want. I think they need that emotional strength.
Right.
Even though they are, confined to the four walls of their homes, they need to have that connect.
Right.
And we need to, find out opportunities to let them find the connect. That, I think that is very important. Physical health, I think, again, as a school, of course, we do, have sessions, but that alone is not enough. So we do I don't know how much you know about our school. Actually, our vision is actually, empowering the students through the values of knowledge, character, and health.
Mm.
KCH program, we call it.
Okay.
So it's actually everything that we do is done in an integrated manner where we touch upon all these three consciously.
Mm.
So knowingly or unknowingly, the kids are, introduced to various things. It could be physical, it could be mental, it could be, and there's always learning at the end of the day.
True. True.
So we try our best, but it is not the same. Children need to come back to school. But the uncertainty is quite wide. We can only play a good part in bringing down their anxiety levels, keeping them happy, at the same time, without pressurizing them too much, get along with their daily lessons as well. That's what I think.
Right. 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 Wonderful. And ma'am, obviously, now there's going to be a big sort of change that would be required even when children come back to school. And let's say that's maybe month, or that can take 2-3 months. But once they are back to school, is there any kind of support that you think that government in specific should provide, or there are service providers, or there are various bodies which the schools are associated with? What is that kind of support? Because I'm sure the school has to make a lot of arrangements, right? But there is and be it in terms of curriculum, be it in terms of infrastructure, what are the various thoughts that because you are planning and scheduling things for the things that could happen, right? And students would need to come to school. So what are the various things that you think that, this is beyond us, but we need support from outside? While we will put our best, but we need XYZ support. What are those things that you come to your mind, like, you need at a higher level from outside of your control?
Basically, the administration is doing its best to contain the situation. And in terms of the workload, yes, I wish the board actually, and seriously, the CBSE board is looking into it to bring down the portions. And alternate exams are also being thought about. But I think the major things have to be done by us as a school, and secondly from the parent side, without actually troubling the administration much. What is it that we can do? We need to think and do our best, because administration is doing, I think, like we say about the teachers, they are doing 300 400% of what best they can. So once the schools reopen, I think we as teachers and the support staff, everyone who are working here, need to make a joint commitment and see what best we can do in the current scenario. Yes, in a broader perspective, like I said, I think the load of portions can be, brought down. Exams, what can be done on a lighter note. Apart from those two, the rest is in our hands. We have to look into the safety, the health, the hygiene, their mental health, everything lies with us and the parents. So I think each school, if we decide to take it on as a challenge, we can do it. We will do it.
Right. Great. So, ma'am, now a little bit about Curious Times. We have been serving the Choice School, and special thanks to Nalini ma'am also for being like a support to us. Uh, what do you like about Curious Times? I would like, what is the message that you think that the other students or teachers or schools should also receive from you? What is that you like about Curious Times?
The fact I love about Curious Times is, actually we were introduced to it in the month of March. Okay. So it came right on time with this lockdown. And the children had a platform to let their creativity grow no matter what. And what I like best about you is you publish anybody's work. That's giving them so much of confidence.
Right.
Even for a school magazine, sometimes we have to restrict, but the fact that you give equal importance to every child is a fantastic thing, and I mean, we look forward. The first thing we look at is, even without, because the children are sending their entries direct to you, we don't know how many of them have sent. So the minute we get it, we check how many students from my school are there. That's
Yeah.
the first thing before you actually go into the different things that they have done. But it's what you have done is something very, very good, reaching out to people across the globe, children across the globe, and giving them the confidence to pen whatever they would like and bring out their creative best. Wonderful drawings I can see, beautiful.
Yeah.
I think the fact that for every child, the fact that their creativity is coming out in a magazine wherein a lot of other schools and children are involved is something which makes them get so much more self-confidence and make them feel important. And I think that gesture is something fantastic that you started. And the
Thank
children, may not be able to contain it. You may have to come out with weekly issues now
you.
because
Right.
it's grown so big.
Absolutely. We'll have to craft it because when we receive and we receive a very overwhelming response, like sometimes we don't even sort of go out to children and say Doctor's Day is launched, and they would just on their own come. And so without talking a lot about ourselves, but if I would to say that I also sort of go and help with judging a few debate competitions, recitation competitions. But when I tell them that, if you're participating in that activity, you have conquered like a big milestone of your conquering a fear to participate in anything, right? So that thing, even if you you would just fare 8 on 10 or 6 on 10, but you've sent something to get published in a publication or a magazine, you've actually conquered your fear to just that participation. So even that sort of, deserves a kind of space. And that to our mind, because we've seen when, people become professionals, it takes them a lot of time to put a lot of things together for themselves, gather the confidence, and getting that in place at early in their career, in their student days, is something which will serve them in the long run. And also peer learning, right, that they can get through this, is also sort of something we so when we are meeting students, we are actually telling them that they are the that barrier that they cross is very important, and once that is done, yeah, of course, then sky is going to be the limit for them. So
Absolutely.
everybody has
We
their
wait.
special talents, so I'm very happy that we're able to serve that cause for the Choice School.
You
And
have been able to reach out to quite a few.
yes,
And the teachers are also encouraging their students to write,
yes,
to be more creative and send in their applications, I mean, or whatever they've done to you. And, I can see the confidence level in them.
yes,
It's
yes,
not a school magazine or a newsletter that their articles are coming
yes,
in,
yes,
featuring it.
absolutely.
It's a national magazine.
Correct, correct.
So they're quite proud and thrilled at the fact. And I, personally thank Nalini and you, ma'am, for considering our school and coming back to us, every month. But like I said, it is not too far away when you'll have to
Yes,
start it
absolutely.
every week, and probably now, make you may even have to, make a differentiation based on their age groups,
Yes,
because you
yes,
may be getting that many
yes,
number of
yes.
articles.
Yes, and we
So,
have that differentiation on our web platform. We have that on the application. Anyways, we do content which is age appropriate and
that's right.
yeah, so that some of those things already exist. Yeah, and now a lot more customization will happen now for students. Ma'am,
Correct. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity for all of us, other, whether it's teachers, principals,
yeah,
and students. I
And
mean,
I
for all
want to
of us.
thank, there are a lot of teachers who've kind of, come forward in this time. And obviously they also got some time to reflect, right? Otherwise this curriculum and their whole timetable takes a lot of them, but they also had time to reflect, and wonderful poetry has come, wonderful articles have come from teachers and, non-educators. And some you would be finding it surprising, some male teachers actually writing good poetry for female teachers, because they had to do a lot of work at home as well as do the school online classes. So I found this, some of one article and one poem which was written by another male educator, and that came like a really, it kind of talked well of their school also. So yeah, those things are there. So ma'am, thank you so much for taking out time to have a discussion, chat with us, for uh, bringing your thoughts and talking about your school and your own personal journey. And I think that's, thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The pleasure has been mine too. And, we really thank you and admire you for the wonderful initiative that you've begun. And we're with you in your journey, and we'd love to be a part of it in the years to come too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much on behalf of Choice School Tiruvalla.
And very happy Teachers Day to your all your teachers, to your faculty, to yourself, and we wish a lot of growth and happiness with children. Wish they continue the joy of learning journey with you and the teachers. So very
Thank
happy.
you very much, and I'll convey to all of them. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.